Hello. Last we left the book Wonder, Jake was finding out about the war that he didn't know he was in. And the girls, one girl in particular, let him in that he was involved in unbeknownst to him, in a war just because he was Augie's friend. So let's see how this plays out. It was between him and Julian, by the way, and all the boys. Julian got all the boys to be against him, not be friends with him. Julian said that he thinks being friends with Augie is bringing you down, and that for your own good, you need to stop hanging out with him so much. And if you start losing all your old friends, it'll be like a wake-up call. So basically, for your own good, he's going to stop being your friend completely. Newsflash, I stopped being his friend completely first. Yeah, he's convinced all the boys to stop being your friend for your own good. That's why nobody's talking to you. You're talking to me. Yeah, well, this is more of a boy thing, she explained. The girls are staying neutral, except Savannah's group, because they're going out with Julian's group. But to everybody else, this is really a boy war. I nodded. She tilted her head to one side and pouted like she felt sorry for me. It's okay that I told you all this, she said. Oh, is it okay? Yeah, of course. I don't care who talks to me or not, I lied. This is all so dumb. She nodded. Hey, does Augie know any of this? Of course not, at least not for me. And Summer? I don't think so. Look, I better go. Just so you know, my mom thinks Julian's mom is a total idiot. She said she thinks people like her are more concerned about whether their kids' class pictures look like than doing the right thing. You heard about the photoshopping, right? Yeah, that was just sick. Totally, she answered, nodding. Anyway, I better go. I just wanted you to know what was up and stuff. Thanks, Charlotte. I'll let you know if I hear anything else, she said. But before she went out, she looked left and right outside the door to make sure no one saw her leaving. I guess even though she was neutral, she didn't want to be seen with me. Aww. The next day at lunch, stupid me, I sat down at the table with Tristan, Nino, and Pablo. I thought maybe they were safe because they weren't really considered popular, but they weren't out there playing D&D at recess either. They were sort of in-betweeners. And at first I thought I scored because they were basically too nice to not acknowledge my presence when I walked over to the table. They all said, hey, though I could tell they looked at each other. But then the same thing happened that happened yesterday. Our lunch table is called, they got their food, and then headed towards a new table on the other side of the cafeteria. Unfortunately, Mrs. G, who was the lunch teacher that day, saw what happened and chased after them. That's not allowed, boys, she scolded them. This is not that kind of school. You get right back to your table. That's funny. Oh, great. That was going to help. Before they could be forced to sit back down at the table, I got up with my tray and walked away real fast. I could hear Mrs. G call my name, but I pretended not to hear and just kept walking to the other side of the cafeteria behind the lunch counter. Sit with us, Jack. It was Summer. She and August were sitting at their table, and they were both waving me over. Aww. Why I didn't sit with August the first day of school. Okay, I'm a total hypocrite, I know. The very first day of school, I remember seeing August in the cafeteria. Everybody was looking at him, talking about him. Back then, no one was used to his face or even knew that he was coming to Beecher. So it was a total shocker for a lot of people to see him there on the first day of school. Many kids were even afraid to get near him. So when I saw him go into the cafeteria ahead of me, I knew he'd have no one to sit with. But I just couldn't bring myself to sit with him. I had been hanging out with him all morning long because we had so many classes together, and I guess I was just kind of wanting a little normal time to chill with other kids. So when I saw him move to a table on the other side of the lunch counter, I purposely found a table as far away from there as I could find. I sat down with Isaiah and Luca, even though I'd never met them before, and we talked about baseball the whole time, and I played basketball with them at recess. They became my lunch table from then on. I heard Summer had sat down with August, which surprised me because I knew for a fact she wasn't one of the kids that Tushman had talked to about being friends with Augie. So I knew she was doing it just to be nice, and that was pretty brave, I thought. So now here I was sitting with Summer and August, and they were being totally nice to me as always. I filled them in about everything Charlotte told me, except for the whole part about my having snapped under the pressure of being Augie's friend, or the part about Julian's mom saying that Augie had special needs, or the part about the school board. I guess all I really told them about was how Julian had a holiday party and managed to turn the whole grade against me. It just feels so weird, I said, to not have people talking to you, pretending you don't even exist. Augie started smiling. You think? He said sarcastically. Welcome to my world. That's kind of funny. Sides. So here's the official sides, said Summer at lunch the next day. She pulled out a folded piece of loose leaf paper and opened it. It had 3 columns of names. Jack's side, and here are the list of all the boys on Jack's side. Oh, not that many. Julian's sides. Look at all the boys on Julian's side. And neutrals. I guess she just did boys. There are the neutral boys. I'm not going to read them. You can freeze it if you'd like to and read them. Where did you get this? Said Augie, looking over my shoulder as I read the list. Charlotte made it. Summer answered quickly. She gave it to me last period. She said she thought you should know who was on your side, Jack. Yeah, not many people, that's for sure, I said. Reed is, she said, and the 2 Maxes. Great, the nerds are on my side. I like nerds. Don't be mean, said Summer. I think Charlotte likes you, by the way. I know. Yeah, I know. Are you going to ask her out? What? You're too young for that. Are you kidding? I can't now that everybody's acting like I have the plague. The second I said it, I realized I shouldn't have said it. There was this awkward moment of silence. I looked at Augie. It's okay, he said. I knew about that. Sorry, dude, I said. I didn't know they called it the plague, though, he said. I figured it was more like the cheese touch or something. Oh, yeah, like in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I nodded. The plague actually sounds cooler, he joked. Like someone could catch the black death of ugliness. As he said this, he made air quotes. I think it's awful, said Summer, but Augie shrugged while taking a big sip from his juice box. Anyway, I'm not asking Charlotte out, I said. My mom thinks we're all too young to be dating anyways. Thank you, Mother. She answered. What if Reed asked you out? I said. Would you go? I could tell she was surprised. No, she said. I'm just asking. I laughed. She shook her head and smiled. Why? What do you know? Nothing. I'm just asking, I said. I actually agree with my mom, she said. I do think we're too young to be dating. I mean, I just don't see what the rush is. Yeah, I agreed, said August, which is kind of a shame, with all these babes who keep throwing themselves at me and stuff. He's got such a good sense of humor. He said this in such a funny way that the milk I was drinking came out of my nose when I laughed, which made us all totally crack up. So that's nice. They are having a good time being social with each other, and I think he's learning who his true friends really are. Until next time.